Morocco is now the latest country in the Middle East to normalize relations with Israel. This is all part of an ongoing effort by the Trump administration in its last days in office. While it has been well publicized that the U.S. has recognized Morocco's claim to the Western Sahara region, according to published reports, a weapons side deal might also be a part of that package. RT's Alex Mihailovich has the report.
It was news that was welcomed by many Moroccans.
The statement by the U.S. is a logical one. For us, the Sahara is Moroccan.
The United States has agreed to recognize Morocco's claim over the Western Sahara in exchange for the Arab world's oldest kingdom, normalizing relations with Israel. President Trump tweeted, "Today, I signed a proclamation recognizing Moroccan sovereignty over the Western Sahara. Morocco's serious, credible, and realistic autonomy proposal is the only basis for a just and lasting solution for enduring peace and prosperity. It is unlikely that the United Nations and other Western states will follow in the U.S.'s footsteps with the resource-rich region. For decades, the UN and many countries have called for a referendum to resolve the territorial dispute in the Western Sahara. That said, while others have viewed the move with skepticism, Israel's government praised the initiative.
President Trump, the people of Israel and the state of Israel will be forever indebted to you for your magnificent efforts on our behalf. I want to thank, too, the King of Morocco, King Mohammed VI, for taking this historic decision to bring a historic peace between us.
Morocco joins the UAE, Bahrain, and Sudan, which have all recently normalized relations with Israel under the guidance of the Trump administration. However, when it comes to Morocco, there may be another layer to the deal. And according to a Reuters exclusive, it's an arms agreement. The Trump administration has proceeded with $1 billion in sales of drones and precision-guided weapons to Morocco. The move mirrors a side deal done between the U.S. and UAE when that Arab state agreed to normalize relations with Israel. Earlier this year, the United States allowed the sale of F-35 fighter jets as well as drones to the United Arab Emirates. The U.S. Senate failed to block the agreements, which are worth $23 billion, earlier this week. Drones have also been sold to Taiwan by the U.S., raising tensions with China. The Morocco deal would be the first of its kind since the Trump administration proceeded with a plan to sell more drones around the world by reinterpreting an international arms control agreement. The Missile Technology Control Regime was meant to limit the proliferation of such weapons, an accord that Washington, under Trump, has chosen to work around. For RT, I'm Alex Mihailovich.
And for reaction to all of this and more, let's go to former UK MP George Galloway. So, George, what do you make of all of this? Are they simply arms deals just masquerading as peace pacts?
Well, now we know what the rules-based order is. You can tear up any rules, any international law, in exchange for bribery, blackmail, browbeating, bludgeoning your way to get exactly the outcome you are looking for. This has been a principle of international law and international affairs for at least 35 years, if not 40 years, that there must be a referendum of the Sahrawi people as to whether they wanted to join with Morocco, which I favor as it happens, or have an independent Saharan state. And that was, every country in the world recognized that. But it's now been torn up in exchange for the fool's gold of a Moroccan deal with Israel, which won't come to much for reasons I'd like to explain if I have time with you. But the reality is it's about the bumper sale of precision weapons and drones. Isn't it wonderful, really?
Yeah.
The season of goodwill, Manila, Christmas and all that.
Now, George, officially, this is called the Abraham Accords, the Trump Mideast peace plan. It comes with many sales agreements, as we heard in Alex's story there, and keeping the likes of Raytheon, Boeing, Lockheed Martin, and a lot of them all in business during these hard times of coronavirus. Do you think this is the real driving force behind the latest round of sanctions against Turkey for purchasing the Russian S-400 defense system.
Yes, it's a major problem for the US that the S-400 is far better than its US competitors. Nobody makes defensive missiles like the S-400 as well as Russia does. And Turkey, acting out of its own national self-interest, you might call it Turkey first, maybe Donald Trump would recognize that slogan, has chosen to buy the Russian version. And the United States is mad as hell about that. And Turkey might actually be about to buy not just a second batch, but the successor to the S-400, the S-500, that will be coming on stream very soon. So they wouldn't want that to be an idea that catches on. They want to strong-arm countries like Morocco, like the UAE, into buying the American arms companies' products. It's welfare for the military-industrial complex. In fact, these are the only companies at the moment that are not being abandoned and allowed to go to the wall in the period of COVID-19. So many companies are going bankrupt, but the arms companies never will.
Absolutely, George. And, Israel seems to be the beneficiary of all these relation normalizations. The Turks have had some strong words for Israel's further annexation of the West Bank and Gaza and have burnt some bridges even with the UAE over these new accords. They viewed it as an affront to the Palestinian cause. But at the same time, George, the Turks have maintained their diplomatic relations with Israel since the 1950s. Are they being hypocritical here?
Well, President Erdogan would say that these relations were established long before his era. They were already institutionalized and well entrenched, and he couldn't do anything with the deep state in Turkey against him, the military against him. He couldn't do anything about that. But President Erdogan does a great line in anti-Israel rhetoric, but he does great trade with Israel nonetheless. But what I'd like to say, if I may, Manila, is that Morocco will find this one harder to do than the UAE and Sudan and Bahrain, because Morocco is a democratic country. The people cannot be ignored in the way that they can be in these Gulf countries. Morocco is quite a plural and open place. It's got opposition newspapers, trade unions, multiple parties, a strong Islamist current in the country, and its next door neighbor in Algeria will definitely not be going down the same road. And in fact, they'll be furious about the Western Sahara decision. So actually, this may cause King Mohammed VI quite some problems down the line. It will be a stick with which to beat him. But it would be churlish not to say this is another great victory for Mr. Netanyahu. It's another great victory for Donald Trump. They have redrawn important lines on the map of the Middle East and North Africa. Whether they'll stand the test of time remains to be seen, but they are diplomatic coup d'etat, no doubt about that.
Yeah, I'm not sure whose feather this cap will go in for President Trump or incoming President-elect Biden, but I can assure you one thing, George. I doubt the incoming administration would overturn any of these accords, because it all sounds like it's all favoring America's favorite friend, Israel. We'll leave it right there.
You may have seen, Manila, you may have seen that Mr. Netanyahu removed the picture of Donald Trump from his Twitter avatar today. So much for gratitude.
We'll leave it there. George Galloway, thank you so much.
All right, Shalom. I want to start out by giving all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem Makakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai's elect. All right. So in that clip, all right, it's basically just showing you, all right, America and Israel, all right, getting they war strategies together and getting all their accomplices to get on the same page with them, because they're getting ready to fight, all right. America and Israel go hand in hand together, all right. They are both biblically prophesied to be burned up and destroyed. So, you know what I'm saying? it's only right that, you know what I'm saying, in the times that we in right now, that they be doing exactly what it is Yahweh Bashim Yahushua has them doing. All right, so I'm going to start out with Jeremiah 49 and verse 20. It say, therefore hear the counsel of the Most High Yahweh that he had taken against Edom, and his purposes that he had proposed against the inhabitants of Teman. All right, it says, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. The earth is moved at the noise of their fall, and the cry of their noise, the noise thereof was heard in the Red Sea. Behold, he shall come up and fly as the eagle, and spread his wings over Basra, and at that day shall the heart of the mighty men of Edom be as the heart of a woman in her pains. All right, and it's talking about, all right, when Edom goes down, they're going down with violence, all right, and they're going to ultimately be burned up, all right. The thermonuclear ICBM missiles are going to come down, all right, and burn up Edom, all right, Idumea, all right. When you read Teman, let me get it right here. This is in the blue letter. When you read this right here, and you go to, where is it at? Surely the least of the flock should draw them out. Let me see. Let me find Teman. Right here where it says Teman, when you click on him, all right.
Strong's H8487, Taman.
All right, and it says a son of Eliphaz, grandson of Esau, and one of the dukes of Edom. The tribe descended from one noted from the wisdom of his people. It's the region occupied by the descendants of one located east of Idumea. All right. So when you read Idumea, that's just the Greek way of saying Edom. All right. So when we go to Isaiah 34 now to show you that the ICBM missiles are going to come down on Idumea. All right. This is Isaiah 34 and 5. It say, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment. All right, it's talking about the Edomites, the so-called white people, which they are not white, they're red. All right, when you read verse 6, it say, the sword of the Lord, Yahweh, is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of kidneys and rams. For the Most High Yahweh had they sacrifice in Basra, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. All right, and Idumea is a people before it's a place. All right. And Basra is a people before it's a place. These are just code words for the nation of Edom. All right. And when we go back up, when it say my sword shall be bathed in heaven, it's talking about the ICBM missile, because it's going to be shot up out of the halos. It's going to go up into the heavens, and then it's going to come down out of the heavens, and then it's going to hit. All right. You know what I'm saying, in different places of the world, but 200 million missiles are prophesied to hit right here in Mystery Babylon, so-called America, as well. Missiles are going to hit in the so-called Holy Land, because it's not holy right now. It's being trodden down by the Gentiles. It's going to hit over there, and it's going to burn that up too. All right, America and the America landmass and the landmass of Israel are both prophesied to be burned up. All right, and that's in Ezekiel 38 as well as Ezekiel 39. All right, let me get it right quick. I'm gonna go to Ezekiel 38. Then I'm going to hit 39. I ain't going to make this too long. Okay, this is Ezekiel 38. I'm going to start at the top. All right, they say, and the word of the Most High Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesied against him. All right, and the modern day people of that land is the Russians. All right, it say, and say, thus said the Lord God, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. All right, so Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is going to put these Russians back in that old Soviet Union spirit, all right, that old ancient warlike spirit, all right, back when America and Russia had that. I think it was the what was it called? Shit, it's on the tip of my tongue. Damn it, it was I think it was the nuclear crisis or some shit like that. Salaki. But back when they had that, when the Russians, all right, and America was in a standoff, all right. So let me see. Verse 5, it say Persia, Ethiopia, Libya with them, all of them with shields and bucklers. All right, I mean with shields and helmets. And the Persians in today's in today's world would be the Iranians. All right, Iran. All right, so Iran and Russia are together as well as these Hamites are with them, as well as China. All right, China is joined with them as well as Turkey. All right, as you're gonna see right here where it says Gomar and all his bands, the house of Togomar of the North Quarters and all his bands, and many people with thee. All right, and that's why in that video the Americans was mad at Turkey for buying that S-400 system. All right, and the Turkeys are getting ready to buy the 500 as well. They're buying their missile defense systems from Russia, and Russia and America are in a nuclear arms race with each other. But Russia is going to be a guard to these other nations, all right, as it's going to say right here, be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be a guard unto them. All right, and that's because the Russians have the most ICBM missiles. All right, I did a video on it a couple of weeks ago and a couple of months ago. Russia has roughly 6,300 nuclear warheads, and America has about 5,800. All right, and then you got China with about 300, and you know what I'm saying, everybody else is way down there. But Russia and America are both the heavy hitters when it comes to this. All right, let me see verse 8. It say, after many days thou shalt be visited, in the latter years thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword, and is gathered out of many people against the mountains of Israel, which have been always waste, but it is brought forth out of the nations, and they shall dwell safely, all of them. Let me see, thou shalt ascend and come like a storm, thou shalt be like a cloud to cover the land, thou and all thy bands, and many people with thee. All right, so it's gonna be a lot of people over there in the Middle East. All right. That's in Joel chapter 3, in Yahweh's Shaphat, all right, in Yahweh's judgment, all right, over there in the Middle East. All right, verse 10, it says, thus said the Most High Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shah power, it also shall come to pass that at the same time shall things come into thy mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought. All right, and the scripture tell you the heart of the king is in the hand of the Lord. It's like if I'm misquoting it, but the heart of the king is in the hand of the Lord, all right. Let me get that. I don't want to butcher it. So like 1 second. All right. Yeah, this is Proverbs 21:1. It say, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, as the rivers of water. He turneth it whatsoever he will. All right. Let me see. Every way of a man is right in his own eyes, but the Lord pondereth the hearts. All right. And the hearts means your mind. All right. So Yahweh Shema Shah is going to put it in these Russians' minds to think that evil thought. All right. And that's gonna be part 2 when they're gonna burn this place up. All right, it say, and thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages. I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls and having neither bars nor gates. All right, and this is America. All right, because Russia is gonna take out America too. All right, they're gonna bomb, they're gonna shoot their missiles on America and on the land of Israel. It say to take a spoil and to take a prey, to turn thine hand upon the desolate places that are now inhabited, all right, because these places are prophesied to be utterly destroyed, all right. Edom is prophesied to be utterly destroyed, all right. It say, and upon the people that are gathered out of the nations which have gotten cattle and goods that dwell in the midst of the land, all right. And our land over there is being inhabited by 2 heathen nations, all right. You got Amalek, the chief house of Esau, and Ishmael, all right. They over there in our land too, and they both are heathens, all right. And they both gonna get burned out of that land, all right? So now let me go to Ezekiel 39 now. All right. Let me read that too. All right, it say Ezekiel 39:1, it says, Therefore, thou son of man, prophesy against Gog and say, Thus saith the Lord God, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and leave but the 6th part of thee and will cause thee to come up from the north parts, and will bring thee upon the mountains of Israel. This is talking about Esau, all right, because Esau's in that land right now. All right, it say, and I will smite thy bow out of thy left hand, and will cause thine arrows to fall out of thy right hand. They shall fall upon the mountains of Israel, thou and all thy bands and all the people that is with thee. I will give thee unto the ravious birds of every sort, and to the beast of the field to be devoured. Thou shalt fall upon the open field, for I have spoken, and said the Lord power. All right. So when they say those arrows are going to fall out of thy right hand, and they shall fall upon the mountains of Israel, that's talking about the nuclear missiles, all right? The same thing as it said, when my sword shall be bathed in heaven and come down upon Idumea, all right? Idumea is just the Greek way of saying Edom. And Amalek, though he is the chief house of Esau, all of Esau is going to be destroyed, all right? The scriptures tell you in Obadiah, it tells you that all of Edom, every one of them may be cut off by slaughter, all right, and that none of them are going to survive, all right. So that goes for Amalek, the least of the flock, all the way down to Teman, all right. All of the mighty men of Esau are going to be destroyed in the Third World War, and the ones of them that aren't destroyed are going to be the first fruits of slavery, all right. All of those Edomites that's going to be fighting in World War III are going to be destroyed, all right. But the elite of Esau, all right, the top creme de la creme, the Rothschilds, the Yetis, the DuPonts, and all of them, you know what I'm saying? They not gonna be destroyed, all right? They already are in their bunkers right now, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna pull them out of the rocks and put them into slavery. But these lesser Edomites, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna fight, all right? They're gonna go to World War III. They're gonna try to fight Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, and they're gonna lose, all right? And the scriptures also tell you, all those people that are joined on to America and Israel are going to turn on them, all right? NATO and the EU, they're going to turn on America, all right? It says those nations are going to hate the whore, and burn her with fire. They're going to shoot their missiles on America as well. All right, let me get it. Revelation 17 and 16, it say, and the 10 horns, this is talking about NATO and the EU, all right? And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, talking about America, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. For Yahweh hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree, and to give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of Yahweh shall be fulfilled. And that woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth, talking about America, Mystery Babylon, all right? And the ruling nation that rules Mystery Babylon is the daughter of Babylon, which is Edom, all right? O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed, all right? That's Psalms 137, all right, and verse 7, all right? That's the daughter of Babylon, all right? And all these other nations are going to come against her, as the scripture said they are, all right? Let me get that, Psalms 137 and verse 7. It say, remember, O Lord, Yahweh, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, race it, even to the foundation thereof. O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed, happy shall it be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. Happy shall it be that taketh and that dasheth thy little ones against the stones. All right, so Esau is the daughter of Babylon, all right? The nation of Edom, all right? Not just Amalek, the whole nation of Edom, all right? That's the daughter of Babylon, all right? You got your Edomites, they spread all over, but nevertheless, you know, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, all right? And the Esau is ruling the earth right now. All right, Job 9:24, the earth given to the hand of the wicked. 2 Ezra 6:9 tells you Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So Esau is going to be ruling when this all takes place, when Yahweh Shah returns. Esau is going to be in rulership, all right? So, you know what I'm saying? That's pretty much it. I don't want to make it too long. Let me read a little bit of Joel 3. All right, let me see. It's one that say, raise up thy sons, O Zion, to fight against the Grecians. All right, this is Joel 3. I'm going to read verse 9 and say, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare a war, and wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hook into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. All right, and that's what these other nations are doing. All right, Russia is the guard into these other nations. And that's why they able to, you know what I'm saying, to boast themselves, all right? They ain't worried about America like that because they know they got Russia with them. It say, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about thither, cause thy mighty ones to come down, the Most High Yahweh. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit and judge the heathen round about. All right. And when that word Jehoshaphat in the Hebrew means Yahweh Shaphat, means Yahweh's judgment. In verse 13 it say, put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full. The fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. Multitudes, multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Most High Yahweh is near in the valley of decision. All right, the sun and the moon shall be darkened, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. The Most High Yahweh also shall roar out of Zion and utter his voice from Jerusalem. And Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. All right, it say, in the heavens and the earth shall shake, but the Most High Yahweh will be the hope of his people and the strength of the children of Israel. All right, and the heavens are going to shake because them missiles are going to come down, all right? Say, and they say, when they say the sun and the moon shall be darkened and the stars shall withdraw their shining, because it's going to be a dark, gloomy day, all right, when this happens. All right, they say verse 17, they say it's going to also be dark because the missiles are going to block out the sun, all right? They're going to block out, all right, the daylight. Let me see, verse 17, they say, so ye shall know that I am the Most High Yahweh, your power dwelling in Zion and my holy mountain. Then shall Jerusalem be holy, and there shall no strangers pass through her anymore. All right, and it's talking about these heathens. All right, it tells you a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod. All right, and that's why Amalek is over there right now. All right, as well as Ishmael. All right, jump down to verse 19. It tells you, Egypt shall be a desolation, and Edom shall be a desolate wilderness, for the violence against the children of Judah, because they have shed innocent blood in their land. All right, so Egypt and Edom are going to be desolate wildernesses, all right? They go hand in hand. America is spiritual Egypt, all right? Egypt is just means house of bondage, all right? America is was the house of bondage to the Israelites, spiritual Sodom, because, you know what I'm saying, homosexuality is uplifted in this place. That's why America is known as spiritual Sodom in Egypt in the Revelations 11 and verse 8, all right? Let me see, but Judah shall dwell forever, and Jerusalem from generation to generation. All right, so that's when we get back in the kingdom. All right, more proof to show you that them people over there in the land are not the people of the land, because they're getting ready to go to war. When you read Isaiah chapter 2, it tells you when the Israelites in that land, nation is not going to learn war anymore. But nations are clearly getting ready to fight in World War III right now, showing you that them people that's in the land are not the people of that land. All right. All right, so, you know, I'm going to close out with that. Abaratazah Yahweh Shema was edifying. If I misspoke on anything, leave me a comment in the comment section, and I'll clear that up. All honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach and where I learn this truth. Shalom.